Hi, I'm Ruby Hammer. I'm an international makeup artist and I've been a makeup artist for 25 years doing all kinds of editorial work, fashion shows and commercial work. It's really important for every woman to find her correct foundation. There's tons of variety out there in terms of product shades and brands, but there's also as many diverse women out there, and it's very important for every woman to find her correct base, and particularly important for women of different ethnicities or coloured skin tones. I think one of the things you have to be prepared for is the colour, the texture, what the season's like, is it summer, is it winter, and also the overall effect you want to achieve. With those questions in mind, use the girl on counter as the expert because she's got a whole array of products out there, but the more information you have, the better she can choose the right product for yourself. I'm using an Estee Lauder Double Wear BB Glow. A BB cream is one of the wonderful ways to give you cover, colour correction, and it's nice and light. I'm just using the fabulous Estee Lauder Sculpting Foundation brush to get into the hairline. I try to take it a little bit under the eye, and it means it will be uniform and streak-free. I always fine-tune with my fingers to just work that in. And that shows off a better complexion. I'm using the Clinique Airbrush Concealer because it's nice and light, it's nothing too heavy. What you really need to concentrate on is this inner corner of the eyes, the outer corner of the eyes, and you use your ring finger in this delicate area. You're not dragging any of that, you just want to pat that in. And the tip here is not to get it too near your lash line. That's when it looks unnatural and doesn't look like real skin. To set this all now, I'm going to use a Clinique powder, and it's a translucent one, so it matches all shades. You fill your brush up, but then you tap off the excess. And I'm really just going to do the T-zone. And we leave everything else glowing and catch the light. If you have oily skin, you probably want something that's a bit more matte in texture. If you've got dry skin, you might want something a little bit more nourishing and richer. One of the things to bear in mind when picking your correct foundation is remember the basic undertone. Is it more pink or more yellow based? And it might be a mixture of both. So bear that in mind when you pick a shade. With darker complexions, the danger is having something that's too yellow. I'm picking the Bobbi Brown Long Wear Foundation. So I think it's always better to go with one shade that's going to give you a bit more uniformity. It's got more of an orange or red pigment underneath it, and then you have to work it in to all the nooks and crannies, hairline, through the jawline, into the back of the ears, and in the darker areas. You can see that it's not sitting on the face, it's actually sinking right in. The base allows you to create the perfect canvas for everything else you're going to do. Now that Sienna has a nice even-toned complexion, Bobbi Brown also does a stick foundation, and this is wonderful for touch-ups in case you get patchy. To give it a little bit of longer lastingness, the best thing to do is to use a translucent powder in the T-zone and the edges of your hairline, around the chin. As you can see, this invisible blend really is invisible. It suits all skin tones, and it's a perfect tool for setting your base. To get the best foundation, use a primer first, and then once you've selected the right foundation for yourself, you then use a concealer. Just for special needs, whether they be scars or not spot or dark circles or anything like that, and then set that with a loose powder. The biggest mistakes I see when somebody has got Asian skin is they tend to favour something that's very yellow based. You never look alive and lively, so it needs a little bit of red, but not overwhelmingly so. I'm going to pick the Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. Now this is a wonderful foundation, it's got a tremendous amount of technology in here. I'm going to just dot it on her nose and just big areas and then I'm just using a brush and I'm going in a downward, outward motion to get a smoother finish, but it's got enough yellow to actually match the undertone of her skin. The right concealer is also in this foundation, so if you use the tip on the inner corner, a bit on the outer corner, and a bit round the chin, or wherever you may have a little bit of discoloration, take the time to blend it in. And a little of this stuff goes a long, long way. The only thing now is to set it with a bit of a loose powder or a 2-in-1. So I'm going to pick the Smashbox Halo Perfecting Powder. You take a little bit of the powder, dust it off. I'm just using the appropriate brush from Smashbox to apply this powder all over. Do it in good daylight and take a minute to just blend it through. And when I'm finished, you'll see it's got a nice, smooth, even complexion that doesn't look like a mask. The basis of a good makeup is foundation. This is right across the board, whether as a professional makeup artist or a normal woman. If you get your base right, you get everything right.